Hello everybody, you can call me Hunch, and today's going to be a quick video. I have to talk kind of low, so I'm going to talk close to the mic because everybody's still sleeping. But anyway, we're going to be talking about stacks, but we're also going to be talking about, I think this is your last chance to get into some Ordinals collections that you like. If the bull market has returned with the interest rates and the flow of the money supply, I've been a huge Bitcoin DeFi advocate. I think the right approach, though, is just to have exposure to stacks, Bitcoin. Stake your stacks if you can for liquid stacks or liquid or for Bitcoin. Get exposure to some good L1s if you like SUI or TIA or Solana, so on and so forth. I still do like some Bitcoin DeFi projects, and I still have exposure to those, but I'm not going to be talking about those as much right now until I find things that I'm real sure about. Some good ones, though, might be Alex or Pilar, Daiko, right? And Bitflow Finance hasn't released yet, but you catch my drift, okay? So let's get into it. So here's the chart for stacks. You can see that we are breaking out of this downward wedge, okay? Very important. Now, some of the VCs that are pumping other coins like SUI, right? Like Raoul Paul and Real Vision, he's pumping something as SUI. The structure is about the same. I know that Raoul Paul knows about stacks. Tim Draper talked about it on his podcast, so on and so forth. I still don't know why big VCs are not talking about this, right? Some VCs are talking about TIA, which is Celestia. They're talking about SUI. They're talking about Solano, obviously, with Scaramucci. So interesting that they're still not talking about stacks. Big opportunity for us. It's actually going kind of ape right now with Bitcoin going up. Now, within the stacks ecosystem, there's some things that you can, bet on. Obviously, high risk. You have some meme things. I personally like stacks or goat stacks because maybe it has some meme but utility, right? I don't know what that utility is, but it seems like I like the chart. I know what the utility is. It's some type of meme DEX or something, and so on and so forth. The other one is Skull, right? I don't have exposure to these, but could be interesting. 250,000. This one is 500,000 due to the market caps. Obviously, there's a lot of low cap meme coins that you can gamble on. And when I tweet about memes and so on and so forth, don't take them like I'm making these huge investment thesis in these memes. They're just memes. There'll always be memes until otherwise, right? Until the meme has some type of utility, maybe like Dogecoin is having some type of utility now, but that market cap is astronomical, so I'm not going to be investing in Dogecoin and so on and so forth. And maybe I do have Doge, but I'm not going to be talking about it, okay? So those two I like. In terms of Ordinals collection, obviously Pizza Ninjas continues to pump, right? We have very few left with a thin floor here, okay? Obviously, you should be betting on founders. The founders of this is highly involved in stacks. He's highly involved in the Ordinals ecosystem. Bitmaps I still like. I think they have mass appeal, even though there's a lot of supply, so you have to be aware about that. But I do think they have mass appeal. They're trying to work with them in the metaverse and make games with them and so on and so forth. Bitcoin Puppets obviously pumping hard. Natcats pumping as well. The Royals I like. I think these obviously have the biggest chance not to pump out of all of these just because they're so low. It's not the first DMT, right? The DMT is the Natcats, the first one. But I do think if we can get some community going, which I do think there's a big community, these have the most upside. So I really like that. Ink, this is just art, but it's been pumping like crazy. I don't know if we can bring up the chart, right? Like we've talked about this on Twitter at the Pico bottom. Let's see if we can 6 months. Okay, so yeah, it's still at the Pico bottom. I started talking about this at like 0.02. It's now 0.0031. Sorry, 0.002. Bitcoin frogs, right? Now utility, good art, one of the first on one force. I think there is a game associated with this, so I might be investing in some of these. I don't like the art personally, but I do think there's a community behind it. So interesting. And then also Megapunks. I don't think these are that great, but I still think there's a community behind it. Excuse me, it's really early, but very interesting. So I do think all these kind of hit the Pico bottom. If you look at all the charts, feel free, right? They're all like in the dumps. There's like no liquidity left to be sucked out of them. So I think it's up only if Bitcoin has bottomed. So anyway, that's what I got to say today. You can call me Gunch. Good luck if you're still here, and congratulations if you survived. I talk about this bear market or this sideways chop for a while. I personally don't think the Fed should raise interest rates or lower interest rates, but they are. I think it's a huge mistake. But that's what the Fed does. Right? They make a lot of mistakes. But okay, you can call me Hunch.